Oh, I didn't see you there. Even though I already pressed the record button and pretended like I didn't see you there. Peace and welcome to World War Wrestling. All right, we're gonna go over Rampage and Smackdown Friday Night Wrestling tonight. I don't know why there's like this delay in the camera, but I'm gonna try not to make any sudden movements so that it doesn't go. No, it's still a delay. It's still a delay. I guess it's just not a perfect technology yet. I don't know. Okay, Moxley and Moriarty starting it off. I really enjoyed this match. I didn't like the outcome, but I really enjoyed this match because I feel like it puts Moxley over, but I primarily think it really made Lee Moriarty. Usually, it's like Shane Taylor is the center of attention. Shane Taylor is like the big guy. Usually, the first guy that goes off is the weaker one, and then big dog, big brother come in afterwards and take care of things. And that's really what it seemed like. Moriarty put on a far more competitive match than Shane Taylor. He had John Moxley many a times. You can see why Moriarty, as confident as he is, and walks around like he does, because he knows what he's capable of. He needs to get better on the microphone, but this was a great match. Solo Sikoa and LA Knight. I don't know. I don't even remember this match, honestly. I watched SmackDown. I remember Carlito and Escobar. So, for the simple fact that for the life of me, can't remember anything about LA Knight and Solo Sikoa. I mean, I don't feel like Solo is a memorable person. I feel like Solo Sikoa is just Umaga, but Umaga died, so now you have Solo, where probably could have still had Umaga right now. I don't know. I don't really understand the causes of his passing away. Okay, Takeshita versus Christopher Daniels. I'll just say Christopher Daniels has the juice, but Carlito versus Escobar has the storyline, and that's what we're here for. That's what we're really here for. Especially after Joaquin and Wilds put on that amazing match on NXT. This is like a different week than when this show aired, but they put on a great match at NXT. One of the best tag team matches ever. This whole LWO versus Legado de Fantasma, like, and I love that Legado. It's like Legado de Fantasma did a major upgrade by having Los Lotharios versus Joaquin and Wild. But Carlito is probably going to make the most of the situation regardless. He looks great. He's wrestling great. They went to the outside. Escobar came off as the cowardly heel. Carlito came off as really strong. This was great. Anna Jay versus Ruby Soho versus a Bobby Lashley and Karrion Cross promo. I'm sorry, Anna Jay and Ruby Soho, but what Lashley did was like majestic. It was like art, you know? It's like, I feel like Bobby Lashley is trying to teach the Street Profits a larger lesson because Bobby Lashley's like motto is that it's not about the championships, it's about the storyline and the story. Like he just loves a great plot. He loves being a part of a great story. And I just don't feel like Anna Jay and Ruby Soho's match had that. I feel like Ruby Soho needs to be out on her own, doing her own thing as a rebel. And, she needs to have that feud with Tony Storm. And I think it's coming after Tony Storm squashes Deonna Purrazzo, because it's coming, then that Ruby Soho versus Tony Storm build up is right there. Unless DMD makes a return, I definitely see Ruby Soho coming up there, but it may not happen because I believe Anna Jay got the victory. All right, next up is going to be a little kooky, crazy, cool. Oh man, I had a women's match. Gender equality. Who cares? Commander and El Hijo de Vikingo, Kip Sabian, and Butcher. And then I have Carter and Chance versus Warriors, the Kabuki Workers. Um, and Carmelo Hayes versus Austin Theory. And how I kind of wanted to do this was the sets of matches. So Commander and Kip Sabian, Hijo del Vikingo and Butcher versus Carter and Krantz and the Kabuki Workers, Carmel Hayes and Theory. Okay. Kip Sabian is one of the most entertaining things to watch in AEW right now. He made himself even more interesting with the bag over his head gimmick. He made himself super interesting by having like a very triple threat talent wife. And I think pushed even further was his harassment of the Butcher and being a smaller guy who thinks that he's smart, trying to egg on and manipulate a bigger competitor despite getting his hits and his licks in against this bigger competitor. Commandar is just extremely talented. Grand Metalik was always super talented, but he has zero microphone presence whatsoever. I don't think that's that hard to fix, but I think if it's hard for Andrade to get over on the mic, and it's hard for Juventud Guerrera to get over on the mic, it's going to be pretty difficult for anybody else unless you're really taking speech lessons to sound like an American, which shouldn't necessarily be necessary. The women's tag match, I don't know, it felt a little deflated to me because I don't feel like the two girls from NXT had any business being in the ring with Asuka and Kairi Sane. Maybe Kairi Sane, but Kairi Sane looks like a freaking pop star. She looks like a freaking Korean pop idol. You know, like Kairi Sane just took Valhalla's place because Kairi Sane wins matches. She puts the matches up. She's the closer. And she looks like a freaking superstar. You know, she redefines the word. So you take Valhalla off, and now Kairi Sane is the superstar of WWE. And I think that's why they needed her so desperately, is that she just makes WWE look that much better as a company by being their champion. Okay, Il Hijo del Vikingo and Butcher, Carmelo Hayes and Austin Theory. I really like Carmelo Hayes, man, but Hijo del Vikingo puts him to shame. A lot of these guys, I feel like this is a great comparison because there's a lot of guys in AEW that never made it to WWE, but they would put up some WWE wrestlers for real, for real. And I think everybody and their mama knows that. You know, the Butcher would smash both these guys, Carmelo Hayes and Austin Theory. And I think maybe there's an argument that they'll outsmart him, they'll outspeed him. I think the Butcher would put up Braun Breaker. So the Braun Breaker strength comparison don't really matter to me because I feel like the Butcher would smash Braun Breaker. I feel like the Butcher would smash Randy Orton. I feel like the Butcher would smash LA Knight. The Butcher would walk through Solo Sikoa. The Butcher, like, they're not using the Butcher and the Blade properly. They want to use them. Some heels lose matches to get the baby faces over. Some heels need to be very dangerous heels. Someone has to lose, man, but You haven't given the Butcher and the Blade enough wins, enough streak or gold to really make them the viable threat that you needed to make them. I don't remember them having a strong title reign. I just may not remember the early days of AEW, but even back then, I felt very upset with the usage of Brian Saxton, or Braxton Sutter, or whatever the hell the guy's name is, the Blade, and Butcher. But Carmelo Hayes and Austin Theory, man, they don't have bad matches. I've never seen a bad Austin Theory match. I've seen matches I didn't like him in that he's gotten heat over in, but I've never seen him have a bad, underperforming, underwhelming match. Not yet, not me personally. Iho Del Kingo and Butcher. I'm gonna give them this one because I feel like they would pack up Carmelo Hayes and Austin Theory. All right, overall, I got 2 for Rampage. I got 3 for Smackdown. So, for the Friday Night Wars, SmackDown takes it, you know? But I don't think Rampage is like their premiere show. There wasn't really a match up here that was really gonna take out this WWE. I believe this is pre-show. So this might be, I think this SmackDown episode I have is right before the Royal Rumble, like the day right before the Royal Rumble. So this was like the going away show for the Royal Rumble, followed by the actual Royal Rumble. I feel like this was a good week for AEW to rest up its talents so they could keep it pushing the rest of February and put over some black talents for Black History Month. You know, Black History Month, let's get a black champion in. They gave y'all a few weeks, the last week of January. It's time for some black champions to be holding some gold in every single pro wrestling champion the 1 month of the year that you acknowledge that we exist. So, God bless it. Be good, little kids. And to the grown ass men out there, stop being assholes. This was World War Wrestling.